Okay, so we are here at the famed Champions course at Augusta, Georgia, and this is Tenacious Earl signing on here, bringing you the first 3 rounds of the Masterful, a tradition. No, that's not. I forget I had a slogan that was going on. I had a slogan for this tournament. Maybe a legacy unmatched or something like that. I don't know why I forgot it. I should have wrote it down somewhere at some point, but almost said writ. Anyway, I'm going to take you through my process for doing the Masters. I'm over here on the side screen looking at myself like a fool. But now I've got the chat. So if you want to chat and ask questions or whatever. So the trouble about this is I don't know. Trouble is tough thing to say. You know, this is a spreadsheet system that I have personally developed, and so you know, I've had people ask about it. I really would love to be able to offer it as something that was very user friendly and, you know, quite intuitive, and it isn't, because it's just not that polished. It's tough to polish it, and I'd rather play games at this point than polish it. If I play more games, that's enjoyment, and polishing it can somewhat, you know, long term it would be enjoyable to see a lot of you be able to use this, and maybe there will be a day where I have the time and whatnot to be able to do that in a way that is, you know, effective and good for all you. But let's just get started here. So this is the Masterful, the 10th tournament in this. It's a 30 tournament schedule. You know, we've got 4 majors. This is the first of them. Sawgrass is kind of like a mini major. You know, we saw Gareth Leonard win that. Last tournament we had at what it's called in real life, Innisbrook Copperhead course. They call it Rattlesnake at Play, and I would be remiss to say this is using, by and large part, the play.com or playclassic.com is a good place to find this game, but their golf game called History Maker Golf. There's a whole batch of tournaments I've done here. There's a bunch of them at Tabletop Baseball Plus that I played out using this. They have a tournament mode built into their game, which is really helpful to be able to do tournaments basically in a few hours, as opposed to some golf games where you're kind of like measuring each shot with dice rolls, cross-referencing players' shot cards and things like that. This is a lot different, and if you've seen this before, then I'm not going to belabor the point. I'm going to kind of assume that you've already seen my tutorials on the game itself, where it's kind of like a quick-paced version of each hole. But what we're going to do here is the first 3 rounds. So in a tournament, there's 4 rounds, almost all of them. The first 2 normally bring a cut. The Masters is different, Masterful, so we'll talk about that. And then the third day is what's called Moving Day. It's where it kind of like sets up that final charge on Sunday. Some of the players that did well on Thursday and Friday, you know, Saturday is around where they could either cement that or build or falter. And so that's why they call it Moving Day. And Augusta, although we won't get to see it played out on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Augusta, when the pressure gets on, there are holes, especially at the beginning of the back 9, that load the pressure up. They're tough holes, but that's beside the point. What do we have here on the screen? this is my spreadsheet for the schedule and kind of like all of the data for the tour. And if let's see, I still have another one open, but so this is a major, obviously, and I put 80 for the field. There's not really 80. That's just an estimate. So if I go to my player usage document, which is here, and you can see here the A tier, Sawgrass Tenacious Pro Showcase, which is the PGA Championship. And apologies for the noise upstairs. My joists and stuff like that, they're just a little creaky, so you hear a lot of foot plodding and stuff, and that's just kind of the way it ends up going for me. It's always kind of been this way, and I hope you don't hear too much of it, but if you hear a bunch of creaking and plodding, that's just the way it goes. But so this A tier we have, and then the championship of the UK is the British Open, or the Open Championship, if you will. It's our charaded is a facade of a name. Like I like play. I kind of like to just give it fictional names because this is fictional stuff. But that's kind of the way it goes. So those use the top 156 at the moment. The Masterful is different because it uses the top 70 in the previous season points. So last year's performance earns you entry. Now the other thing is the winners from the last 32 events. So if any winners from this season who were not in that top 70 also get an invitation, and any previous Masters winners, which I think it was Magallanes in my first season, and actually we can look it up here. I have all of this stuff. I have all this stuff archived in my Google Drive, so it's pretty quick to take a look. I think it was Magallanes, but it could have been Yun Lee. Actually, I think it was Yun Lee Sung, now that I think about it. Let's see. Yun Lee Sung. Yeah, he won what? He won a bunch of tournaments in that first season, and then Emmerich kind of like took hold. So Yun Lee Sung. Last year it was Dustin Emmerich, the bad boy. The hi, Paul. And good to see you. And so where was I? That was the previous year. So anyway, we're gonna end up. My plan is to end up with somewhere between 70 and 80, maybe 85 if it was really wacky. But usually, if you win a tournament, you're gonna be in the top 70. It's really kind of odd that you get a one-off. The other thing that I haven't checked yet, so that's where this is going to go. And so I have an exemption list. So what I did is I took last year's points from that point sheet that I had up there, the 2019 points. And I basically so the way I do it is I copy and paste values, all of the names, as you can see here. Plus I added Su Sheng Chen, who won a tournament this year, and Dwayne Bradshaw as well. So you can see they were golfers 103 and 74. And what I use is what's called a VLOOKUP. So this VLOOKUP here, it says, okay, find Dustin Emmerich, or 05. You can see the nomenclature here. Find 05 in this range. And the dollar symbols signify a static range. So from I5, and you always want to put the column that you're looking up from as your first column. So you can say, well, why are these numbers over here? This is the same number. You can see H5 right there. H5 is right here. This is repeat over here. That's because I need to do a static range where I include to the right of the column I'm looking into the number that I want to return. So I look for Dustin Emmerich in from here all the way down to basically there. That's actually 300. So down to here. So we get all these golfers. So, and then we find Dustin Emmerich, he's won. So it picks this one out. It says, look at it for this list, and then go to column 5. 1 2, 3, 4, 5, and return that value. And the false means it needs to be that exact value. Don't find anything that's sort of similar. Like, rarely ever use true. But hang on a second. Anyway, so someone was there. I don't know, maybe grabbing a drink or something. Anyway, so then I can fill down and I get a list for all of these guys where they're found in this list. So then this list is then kind of like, it's already transcribed into my tournament sheets. I'm not going to pull it up here, but then what I can do is I can copy and paste this list of numbers over here. You can see, look at this. I had 1, 7, 3, 5, 10, and on, 1, 7, 3, 5, 10, on and on. And then I have an algorithm here, which is, again, extremely convoluted. It basically factors in this rest model. Can you see that on the screen? Let's see. Yes, you can. Good. This rest model here is what I showed you on this sheet. You can see that there are different types, A, B, C, and special invite. Well, this is an A. So when it's A, it tries to find this number here. Let me see. I want to make it right. No, it wants you to find this number here in this list. And if this number here is found in this list, then it check boxes this. So you can see all of these, basically the top 70 plus a couple of extras. And that's because this is all sorted based on last year's final points. So that's why it's basically like that. So that's how we come up with this list. Now, the one thing I haven't checked is my TFNs and who have injuries. It's Tuminello and Manini. So I need to find in this list here, and I have an alphabetical one over here. Joey Manini is 104, so he wasn't in this list anyway. And then Ray Tuminello, I think he was new to the tour. Yeah, 145. So we don't have to worry about either of those. So none of the current injuries have an effect on this. Okay. So we're ready to go. You can see here I had that list alphabetizes and translates over here. Now what am I going to do? So we have 72. What do we have? 72 golfers? Yep, 72. There, you can see it right over here. My typical way of doing a tournament that has this small of a field is that I'm going to carry everybody over. There isn't going to be a cut. What's going to happen is, in this sheet here, you will see, I'm going to basically run the first 2 rounds. Everybody's going to pass. What I really want to do is simulate the outstanding. I want to do that in this case because, this may be the first time I've tried it this way. We may not get any outstanding golfers, and if that's the case, I will just cut it into 8 instead of 7 and deal with it that way, because I kind of like having it like that. You know, you can mod this game in ways if you like. I mean, obviously when we played this, I've done the lag adjustment, which doesn't affect it very often, but I have on occasion gotten 1-1 dot, which is a made double difficult on a lag, which is pretty exciting when it happens. But in this case, I'm hoping that I get an outstanding, so I do get that 8th pile out of outstanding. So what the outstanding is, I look at that as, that's like your Friday leader. That's like your leader after 2 rounds, maybe 2 or 3 of them if you're fortunate, because you're going to get like 16 piles here. But let's although this kind of gets a little messy here, right? This gets a little weird because yeah, you got all of these. See how best will I do this? So I'm going to be kind of like going through my thought processes here. How am I going to feed all of these guys with these 70? Because I want to bring them all in. So what I'm going to do is So what do we got? 16 piles. Let me see. So that's 4.5. Let's just go. We'll figure it out. So here is our random numbers. This is kind of like shuffling. This is so I'm going to paste values. If you do paste, it will paste the random formula, which does you no good. So what we're going to do from here is I'm going to see how this only goes down that far. So what we'll do is we will the best thing to do here is to take let me see, how am I trying to think of how let me see. Oh yeah, so it's funny how I have this set up. How best to do this? Let's what happens, I'm just going to try something here. I'm going to go insert cells, shift down. All right. Then let's go with 5 here. Insert cells, shift down. So what we're going to do is we're just going to try, and let's hope, let's see, what do we got going on here? I think we'll be okay. I'm kind of riffing here at the moment, and so we're gonna do 5 for this one. I don't really know who's what, and I will undo all of this if I get caught in a rut. But I'm hoping that this will just keep on working out the way that we hope it will. And then we will get 16 piles that are spread out here. That's what I'm hoping for. What do I have? I had 4 there. We're going to go with 5 here. Shift down. You might say, well, why didn't you do this ahead of time? Well, part of it is I'm trying to show you how to mess with spreadsheets. And sometimes you need to use some problem solving, and I figured sometimes maybe problem solving is a fun thing to watch somebody do, and it's even more fun when somebody fails at it. So we'll see how that works out. So we're down to afternoon 4 here. Let's go with a 4 jobber here. Again, these are let me just tell you, these numbers here represent the alphabetical numerical order. So I have no real clue. I mean, unless I realize, if I can remember that like 15 is somebody, but with how variable the field is for this, it's like impossible for me to. And what I'm hoping here is by the time we're all set, let's see, how much do we have left? Let's keep going. Insert cells, shift down. Okay, so there we are. All right, so let's see. Everything is in pretty good shape here. Oh. Huh. That's interesting. Need to do this too. Hopefully this doesn't get too hairy. I forgot that, but we should be able to follow the guide on the left to do this. Now, you could be a little more, it could be a little easier to diagnose things based on the based on the tournament ratings. You see these numbers here. I'm just trying my best to ignore them, and I've already made the decisions without looking at them for how many to put in each batch. So let's see. All right, through the morning here almost. Yeah, this is going to get confusing. I'm gonna put a little borderline down here. Over the borderline. I don't know. I'm not a big Madonna fan, so I don't know why I sang that, but it's okay. You know how weird I am. But we're getting there. Let me just double check. Yeah, things are looking like they're gonna work out here. Let's keep going. We could get a long way along. Whoa. This could happen where we get a long way along here and then get sideswiped. But if not, this will be great. This would be, let's see, insert cell, shift down. What are we at? 5. In this case, what I need to make sure that I do is always match up to this afternoon group here. So what do we got? There we go. Okay. So what have I done here? All I'm doing is I've spread these out. So this is a group right here. Usually it would be, if it's 156, this would be full. But in this case, the groups are going to be 4. And what I'm trying to do is everybody's going to pass through this filter. But I'm going to come over here to field registration. These are dice rolls. And if I get any of these that are, I'm going to paste values out of that. If I get any of these that bring about outstanding, you can see they pop up right over here. And I've got to get my game. So one moment. Mr. Maker Golf. Because this is where my chart is to do the first 3 rounds. I had this out the other day because I was designed a course. I'm gonna use on Slacker Tour, and I wanted to test drive it with a couple of golfers, and it turned out pretty decent. But now I'm gonna do the first 2 rounds for all these guys, and again, I'm basically gonna pass everybody. I'm not really because I want to be in the 65 to 80 range, and I'm already there. But what I'm trying to do is, again, try and get anybody for an outstanding first 2 rounds. So 23 doesn't have any of that. That would actually be draw 1, top 2. But instead, I'm just going to hit made the cut. Yes, 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 yes. 55. Again, no, there's only a couple. I think there's only 3 outstanding chances. So the chances of it are not great, but you never know. That's why I'm doing this, is like I'd like to give it a chance. And let's see, is everything coming over here? That I may have here, I know what I need to do. So I've pushed all this stuff down. What I'm going to end up doing here is everything that was excess that I pushed down, I'm going to have to delete. So this will, hopefully when I do this, it will I just goofed it up again. It will return to normal. So unintended consequences are things that are tough to foresee, But let's go delete cells, shift up. Look at there. But it says condensed. Well, let's see. Let's see how we go here. Hopefully, again, I may have to do some adjustments. We'll see. So 25 is no outstanding. 44 is no outstanding. Make sure everybody has gone through this supposed to get. Now here is one, 34. That is draw one outstanding golfer. So I'm going to put an O here. It's going to be, oh no, what have I done? That's the problem. All right. That's the problem. Okay, well, let's, I forgot there's an, we'll do this one more time. So, I'm trying not to pay much attention to this, but you can kind of see the, but it doesn't matter because all these guys are going to go through anyway. But I block this column because I don't want to get spoiled when I'm usually doing the these rounds. I like to have a lack of spoiling, so I intentionally don't have that I have that column only appear when I start hitting numbers. So let's see, that's wrong. That's right. All right, we're getting there. Shift down, and then I'm gonna have to do that delete again, I think, because it's gonna be a headache if we don't. The things we do for love. Like walking through the rain and the snow and ain't got nowhere to go. And you feel like a part of you is dying. I think that's not my bread and butter of that's something. I did a mistake here somewhere. Let's see. There we go. That's it. So a lot of what I'm trying to do here is just to say, you know, we all have our foibles and things seem to be all put together, and then you goof something up, and then it's okay to have to do a little bit of debugging. So that should be good. It'll delete these, shift up. Well, so there's Eddie, which is what we were hoping for. Let's hide this again. I don't know. This is supposed to. I'm gonna have to fix this. Should be condensed. It should filter out some stuff. We'll just have to make that work when we get the time. All right. So once we get there, we just have a bunch of stuff. So we got. Still says Dale George. How is that? Okay. Let's. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna go. Actually, we're gonna take all these guys. Copy. And we're just going to do a paste formula. That may fix all this. Let's see. No. Gets Eddie Sykes. Yeah, so Eddie is there now. So that's what we're supposed to do. But now we're going to take everybody else along out of this pile. That's not outstanding. Not outstanding there. But we just wanted to have... Just want to try and have an eighth pile that is those golfers from okay, this is weird. Yeah, we're gonna be okay. There's some funky stuff here as far as if I was really, what happened here? Oh, I know. It's again. There's just maybe the thing to do. Let's try this. Because of all it's I've done a bunch of inserting and deleting, and some of the manipulations. So the thing that's great about sheets is if you make adjustments, inserting a column, deleting a column, inserting cells, it will adjust your formulas accordingly. But not all of them do that equally well, and sometimes if you have some static, you remember that V lookup and I had a static range, it will not always transfer that. So that may be part of what's going on here. But so now another one that doesn't have outstanding, and another one here. What are we at? A5, afternoon 5. So we're almost through with this. 24, no, that's not. 56 isn't. The last two are 56 and those are not. Okay. So, there. Hey, now they're all good. Look at that. We have exactly what we're looking for. 71 plus an outstanding. Alright, so what we're going to do now is, let me see, what do we got? So we need 7 into 70 is about 10 apiece. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So some of these end up having 11. That's kind of where the issue becomes. Let me see. That was 10. This one's 11. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, go no, and top. We're going to cut and paste that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll go to the 11th. We'll do a top border. Cut and paste. All it's doing is cutting out the all the reference and everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we will clear this border and just pretty it up. Alright, so then we're going to do this one 11 because we do need one that's 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm just doing this out of sheer kind of randomness. I knew I needed, because I've got 71 and I have 7, I need to have one that's 11. Let's see, that's, so I must have missed an, let's see, let's do this again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12. Okay, so there, that's the one. I guess I skipped one here. Let's see. Let's try it. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Do it again. And this one I'll just leave here because it's in the same thing. There we go. All right, so this is equal. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to move these random numbers again. This is like shuffling. And the outstanding, there's only one, so we don't really need to worry about shuffling that. But we paste values anytime from a random formula. So that's where this is going to be Sykes here. All right, so I've got all of that stuff from basically all of the, all of the cards have come through this. We haven't cut anybody, but we have done a determination to try to get an outstanding. Okay, well, this is not Brandon. This is not like not the final round whatsoever. This is, if you want to watch it from the beginning, there may be some nuggets in there. I'm trying to maybe throw a little bit of teaching moments in here, but sometimes it's better than others. Okay, so the first thing that's really going to suck here, 44 is the first roll, and with a 44, all golfers contend with B+. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to put B+ in this column. I'm going to paste values, and just means there are going to be a lot of guys that are between 5 and 6 shots out probably. But we'll have to do a little bit of a triage, if you will, of those. So 12, the top golfer contends with A+. So I can come over here into this list and see 1B is my top golfer. So I'm going to put the A+ here. They don't have a perk or issue. So it'll be Enrique Magallanes is going to be, if not in the lead, be one of them. And then what's everybody else get? Others finish with B-. So that's that. So there is, who is in there? Jakowski. Some names, quite a few names we've seen. Okay, 56. Draw golfer contends with A-. So here's a 2B who's going to get an A-. No perk or issue. That's going to be Burke Yielding. And others finish with D. So we're going to put this in all of that. 34. Top golfer contends with A-. That's 1A right here. Top golfer, A-. Rance Aberley. Low golfer finishes with D-. The low golfer, there's two of them. 4B are both, so they'll both be D-. That's Ruben Riggs. Denny Rowetter. Oh, wait, I put these in the wrong columns. This needs to be A-. This is D-. D-. So this column over here is where I put the overall. Others can. Oh, we're gonna get some more B+ out of this. Holy mackerel! We're gonna have a dang gaggle of B+. Okay, 36. Top A-. 1B. I'm pretty sure Emmerich is a 1B. Could this be the defending champion showing up to try and put a dagger in everybody's... No, it's Shinji Kanishi. So there we go. Top golfer A-, low golfer D-. The low golfer, it looks like 5A down here, D-. Who is that? Harley Villanova. That's a tournament winner. He won our last tournament. He's not going to do well in the final 2 rounds at Augusta. And so others finish with C-. Yun Lee Song, the first winner, he's out with C- here. So 22, top golfer A, and he gets a perk. Top golfer is 1A. Trent McAdams, and he's going to get a perk or issue. Others contend with B. We're going to have a bunch of people contending, which isn't too bad. It's kind of feel like it's similar. You got the best golfers in the world. 12. Top golfer contends with A+. Who is the top golfer? It's 1C. Oh, there's Emmerich. Oh, he's a 1C, not a 1B. Oh, goodness. He is going to be right up at the top. Others finish with B-. Wait a minute. Yep. Others finish with B-. Okay, well, we're going to... This is going to be an interesting little... And then, so we got 56 here. 56 was draw golfer A-. So, I guess I do need to put this in here just because that's the way this works. He's going to get B-. No, not B-. A-. All right. So now I come down here. The only guy that gets a perk or issue is McAdams. And so I go to the other side of this chart and I look and it says 6, gain extra control, and it's a 0, so it's not till further notice. So he's going to get... So McAdams will have extra control. All right, so now a couple things. We've got to do... You look at all these guys. So this here is where I roll a decide or die. After you put the letter grades in, if you remember, we do the third round. We put them in the letter grades, and then you roll the decide or die to decide who's or which person is it, whether it's one lower than the other, right? That's what this is. The zeros are the decide or die says no. The ones are decide or die says yes. Again, we do a paste special values. And so both of those guys get zeros, so they're going to be tied for the lead. And let's see. So this is how it's going to work out. Here is our final round entry. We've got Emmerich, Magallanes, in the lead. McAdams one back. Then you got Kanishi, Yielding, Sykes, all 3 behind. 4 back, Aberley. 5 back, Solari, Kimes, Simanowicz Jr., Hockel, and Greer, Copeland III. And let's see, do we have any other perks or issues that are... Nope, none of these top guys have it. So then what I end up doing at this point is I have a little, kind of like a fishing box here. Or like a toolkit with drawers. And this is when I take these and I basically... I have A to G. Who do I need? I need Emmerich, Copeland III, I have them all alphabetized by last name. So here is Dustin Emmerich, Greer Copeland III. Anybody else there? Aberley, right on the top. Okay, so we're going to have this as our final groups. And I may do this whole round later this afternoon. I have to decide if I'm going to have the time to do it. I have tried intentionally not to really do a bunch of it. Here's Franz Hockel. He's in it. But I don't know. I haven't done this in a while as far as like a full round showing. And so, you know, there's college football on, of course. There's Kimes. Here's Kanishi. Who else? I think that's all from that one. That's H through L. So we've got Champions Course. A great mix of scoring holes and really tough sons of guns. Hold on. Why do I have... I'm gonna have to do a little bit of other sleuthing here. I did some further damage that is behind the scenes. Magallanes, McAdams. I think that's it from there. And then we've got the S, which there's a few S's. Eddie Sykes. Haven't had his name out here in a while. A couple of SYs. How about that? Sykes and Simanowitz. Sykes has a decent card. He is gilded. That's one thing that could come up and bite him. But he's not bad. Not bad at all. Solari also. Solari. Whoa, whoa. And Burke Yielding, the final brick in the wall. So you know, that's how I do this. You know, you do your first 2 rounds, and again, for this, the only thing I'm trying to do is roll out and see if I get any outstanding golfers in those first 2 rounds, and then I play the third out using the chart. And you know what? While I'm sitting here, let's see if I can figure out where I'm. Did not find the value dash in the VLOOKUP. So what is the VLOOKUP that is the what is dash coming from, hey? Okay, so what is the VLOOKUP? H14. That's the only VLOOKUP. Oh, you know what? Let's see. Huh. Oh, I know what. I forgot to do this. So here's my tournament sheet. This is the problem. I'm like, what's going on? I forgot to set what tournament it is. First off, the tournament is Tournament 10, Masterful, and we are in active mode. So that should finish it all up. That should make us a little happier. Here we go. Emmerich, Magallanes, 10 under par. Our target score is -14. So someone's going to have to shoot 68, 67, 66, something in that range if we're going to get that met. But you know, you got some good cards here. Dancing on the ceiling. No, but see, what I'll do is now take this guy and try and zoom it in here a little bit for you. Give it a little zoom action. And I'm going to go ahead and set this up here. So we've got Emmerich. Magallanes, McAdams, Conehead, Kanishi, Yielding, Sykes. I kind of prefer to use twosomes because that's your typical Masters thing, but I have not yet fixed my twosomes So I'm kind of I'm kind of reluctant to go and try, because there's a lot of translation and stuff that needs to be done to get that done. So this is gonna be our field here, and then we can do this. Actually, what we'll do is move these guys way over here. And we'll have room for a scoreboard over here and all that good stuff. So, anyway, that's where it's at. Again, leave any questions in the comments. Let me check the live chat here. Do we have anything new? Top chat. Let's see. Any live chat? Seems like the live chat's kind of quiet. Again, if you have any, please feel free to drop. I feel like, what are we at? 52 minutes. I will stay here for another 2 or 3 minutes just to converse. Actually, let's go over here because this is already right. If you want to converse about this, if you want some suggestions, I know that on another video, Brandad had suggested doing like an Excel baseball type spreadsheet for stats. I would I forgot I designed that. Looky here. Looky there. Looky there. I have right here. I have this little logo. I forgot I made that. Masterful. I didn't put it in my front screen, but like a quick startup for baseball stats. I may do that at some point with Excel. Most of the stuff I've done is with sheets, but you can do the same thing with Excel, and you can link the spreadsheets pretty easily. I did find in past iterations of Excel that it was not always easy to get them to update. Like, you almost had to open each spreadsheet to get them to recognize that something is updated in one of the other ones, but they may have worked that out, and maybe if you're using OneDrive, it's better. I don't know how many of you pay for, OneDrive.live.com, or, for the Office suite, that like the current, they're kind of nice because you get sort of these web apps that you can use in your browser that gives you most of the functionality or a good bit of it. So, I think they're trying to compete with Google and the Sheets, the Sheets group of applications. It's like that's a very convenient way to do it. All you need is a Google account, and it's all built right in, and it's pretty quick. Some of these spreadsheets are a little awkward as well in their updating. It's the same thing with Excel. It's just processors and things like that just sometimes take a while. Anyway, it looks like anybody who is viewing at the moment is content to have this wrap up. So, maybe here in an hour or two, I will try and get this going and see if we can get this done before dinner time on the East Coast, but we'll see. Plans change, and I saw. Let me see. I saw something sitting here. Let me just turn this on. I assume I don't have any. Yeah, I don't. So, anyway, we'll see you back here soon for the final round of the Masterful, first major of our season. Again, leave comments, hit like, and see you back here soon on Tenacious Sports.